At this time, I'd like to introduce Patricia Aro. Speech title, Kids Like Me. Kids Like Me, Patricia Aro.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Fellow Toastmasters, honored guests, I learned the Pledge of Allegiance on my very first day of school. And I was so disappointed. Dad, I didn't learn how to read today. I went to school to learn how to read. I had a mission. I already wanted to be a writer. I wanted to read. I learned to read eventually, and I learned a lot of other things in school that I didn't even know I wanted to learn. I learned how to raise my hand and ask for help from another adult that I didn't even know. I learned how to make friends. I learned math and history and all sorts of useful things, and I learned that I love lunch. In my school, they baked the rolls from scratch, and I could smell them in the hallway. And I was so excited for lunch. I went to the cafeteria, and there were 4 or 5 people with those things covering their hair, serving up green beans and mashed potatoes and some kind of meat, ham or beef or something, and 2 rolls, still warm. Melt the butter in there. I loved those rolls. I loved that lunch. It was a lot different than what I ate at home. When I was a kid, I made the dinner, and it was usually chili or spaghetti from a can. My single dad had 2 kids, 2 little girls, and he had a series of the worst jobs. He did dig ditches. He worked for a company that cleaned septic tanks. He worked on a mink ranch. Now maybe you've seen a mink coat. They're very pretty fur. Have you seen a mink while it's alive? They're very pretty. And they smell like dirty socks made out of skunk. Every day after school, my dad would pick us up smelling like skunk socks. And we were so happy to see him. And we got in our skunk sock car, and we went home to our dinner. And I was so happy, and he was so happy, that we had a safe place to be during the day while he went off to his work. There wasn't any mom there. There wasn't anyone. Recently, I visited my children's school. In the cafeteria, there was one lunch lady. Behind her, enormous ovens and a stand mixer almost as tall as me, covered in sheets. She was armed with a box knife and a microwave to feed 458 children. And I was really sad. Maybe you've heard that in Washington State, we are incurring $100,000 a day in fines because we have failed in our court-ordered obligation to fully fund our schools. I live in Seattle School District. We're facing, in the 2017-18 school year, a $49 million budget deficit. We have built new schools that do not have a budget for teachers or desks. Recently, I went with a group of PTA parents, concerned citizens, teachers, students, high school students, to Olympia on Martin Luther King Day, and we met our representatives, and we spoke on the steps. There were 6,000 people there to say, fund our education. And the vote is coming soon. And we write, and we email, and we call our representatives day in and day out, because we care. At my school, I live in a nice neighborhood. My PTA raises $100,000 to $130,000 every year. We pay for the PE teacher. We buy school supplies. We buy the art supplies. We pay the art teacher and the music teacher's salaries. But I think about those kids like me, those kids that don't live in a nice neighborhood, those kids who have PTAs that can't raise $130,000 a year, those kids that rely on school lunch for their favorite rolls, their best meal of the day. And I worry about those kids. My kids are okay. My kids are great. Here's something else I learned when I was in school. This nation, this democracy, is of the people, by the people, for the people. And it doesn't work unless we're all involved. And it doesn't work unless we're all educated. Fellow Toastmasters, I've found my cause. What's your cause?